Something strange is going on with Shiba that I need to talk about. As you might know, I've reported on Shiba a few times in the last month, and I pride myself on spending the time up front to make sure I really understand what I'm saying and remain impartial when I present anything. I want to give you the facts, I want to add in some entertainment, and then let you on your way. One way that I'm able to remain impartial is I've never taken a sponsorship to talk about an investment, but this is fairly common on YouTube. Many people will take sponsorships, and for good reason. They pay crazy money, sometimes life-changing money. Now, I'm pretty lucky that I make good money outside of YouTube. I've owned service businesses my entire life, and this gave me a net worth of over $1 million at age 21, way before I ever had my first YouTube video. And I still own a moving and storage business to this day. And I live very frugally. I drive a car I bought for like $2,800, and I spend maybe $2,500 a month on all my bills and personal expenses. So I don't need much. But sometimes crazy offers come through my email, like this one about Shiba. This is how it goes. Hey Max, how are you doing? We're huge fans of your channel and we saw your recent videos about Shiba Inu. We would pay you $30,000, of course in SHIB, for another Shiba video where you talk about the latest development update and our Shiba Inu partners. We handle the Shiba Inu influencer strategy, we incubate new Shiba Inu ventures, and we work with Shiba partners. Our group consists of a few very large Shiba whales and early members that want to build out our ecosystem. Getting this first off made me never want to talk about Shiba again, but I tried to bait for more information because I suspected that this went deeper. Also remember, one of the principles that Shiba was founded on was no paid promotion, so this just all felt weird. So I replied and said, could you send me more details of what would be required of me? Also, could you send me other people's videos who have done promos? And they said, hey Max, how are you? Do you have any feedback on this? I don't really understand that part, but they said Coin Bureau talked about Akria yesterday, and this was very surprising. I was like, wait a minute, this is like the last person I would expect to do a paid promo. So I click on the link to see the video where Coin Bureau is talking about upcoming crypto events. And the founder of Akria Network is flashed briefly on the screen when he's talking about a lineup at a specific crypto conference. So saying Coin Bureau talked about this is an absolute stretch. And you might be thinking, what does Akria have anything to do with Shiba? And just wait, because this gets so much deeper. It's ridiculous. Because we first need to talk about Lindsay Lohan. Seriously, this Lindsay Lohan. She tweeted that she's an angel investor of the Akria project while mentioning Coin Bureau talked about it, to which he replied, never heard about it, never talked about it. Okay, back to the emails. I respond and say, I guess I'm not sure what you're requesting of me. Is there something specific? Because I'm completely lost at this point. I have no idea what this Akria network has to do with any of this. And here's where this all starts to come together. They say, we would like to collaborate with you to discuss Akria network in one of your upcoming videos. They're a new partner project and we're supporting them. They are becoming the leading cross-chain Oracle solution right now, and they are working with many leading projects. This all feels extremely sketchy to me. So I do what I do best, and I spend literally all day digging through every piece of information I can find on the Shiba partners and this Akria network. So you're probably wondering, did I take the $30,000 deal? No. And it's not because I hate money. I love money. And as I mentioned earlier, that's enough to pay my bills for like an entire year or buy my mom a new car. Thinking about it that way, it's kind of painful to think about, but principles are principles. But I still wanted to learn more about this because I knew there was a story behind this. And let me tell you, this story gets weird. Ice Cube and literal raccoons are both involved in this story. So the sponsorship. This is coming from an entity called ShibaToken.capital. Apparently, they're a Shiba venture fund looking to build on the Shiba ecosystem. I'm not totally sure how connected they are to lead developers at Shiba or if there's any connection whatsoever because there's no names and no faces on their site. But their site does say that Shiba is partnered with Coinbase, ShibaSwap, and the Akria network. I needed to learn more about Akria. Here's their website. Cross-chain real-world data network. Scrolling down, we can see the CEO Dominik Ernst, who is, quote, a well-known German developer, and a YouTuber who goes by DIY Investing, who's the CMO of the project, a, quote, famous YouTube influencer. Now, it's important to note that Akria has not yet launched. They're not tradable, but they do have an ICO, a coin that can be purchased off market, meaning you can buy the token before it's actually tradable. In order to buy the token, you have to actually make an account on their site, and then from there, you need to send crypto to one of these addresses or wire transfer money to them, and then you'll receive these Akria tokens. This is a big red flag. Now, going back to their website, we can see the supported staking assets are Shiba. Now, it's a bit hard to interpret what this means, but apparently somehow the Shiba token will be used to stake Akria. This is also odd because looking at an older version of their website from about a month ago, we can see that there used to be far more options here. So before things get really weird, what does Akria even do? This is what their site says. One of the most pressing issues when developing smart contracts is the lack of real-world data. But due to technical limitations such as the consensus protocol, no blockchain has been able to solve this major limitation. This is kind of true in that smart contracts need real-world data, but there are literally oracles running right now that do this and do it well. I mean, Chainlink powers something like 80% of all DeFi with off-chain data. But you'll notice a trend of claiming this is the first or this has never been done before in these projects and throughout this video. So speaking of smart contracts, here is Akria's founder petting a raccoon while explaining them.
So you already heard of it maybe. So yeah, smart contracts are not really smart in the case of they don't have any intelligence or AI or something like that.
Then I read their white paper, and besides a few awkwardly worded sentences, it was okay. Typical oracles will have data go from sources to validators to wherever that data is needed. Akria feels that this leaves data susceptible to attacks and bad actors. Instead, they propose taking data straight from a source and providing it to whoever needs that data, effectively cutting out the middleman. Now, this doesn't seem impossible. However, I would like to point out that the middleman that Akria is referring to here are literally there to make the data more reliable. You can see in this diagram how Chainlink, the most popular crypto oracle, works. Data is sent to validators who then kick out dishonest data points before sending the result to an aggregated contract. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be more than one way to do this, but the way that it's presented in the Akria white paper and by the founder is just it's a bit odd. Either way, we need to figure out how this project has gotten any credibility so far. I mean, they have no launch date, they have no roadmap, and I found that some people have been invested now for over a year with no major updates, and they're getting a little bit worried. On their website, they proudly present that they were featured in CNBC. After some searching, this is what they mean. An article from CNBC about the Dogecoin millionaire. In this article, the Dogecoin millionaire proudly states that he was paid $25,000 in Doge for his partnership with the Akria network. Honestly, at first, I was a bit offended. They gave this guy $25,000 and they only offered me $30,000. They lowballed me. But my second thought was, I need to find this video where he was promoting. So looking at his page, I found nothing. But after doing a lot more digging, I found this. In this video, you can see the URL of the video that this YouTube channel is reacting to. So I typed that URL manually into a browser at the off chance that the Dogecoin millionaire had unlisted the video. And guess what? I found it. I found the unlisted promo video. And here's what he had to say about the project.
Look, the best part about this is not only will you be staking your Dogecoin and getting passive income with that, but there's going to be a high demand for the Akria token too once the platform goes live, and people are going to want to get some. So you also have a chance to 100x your money by getting the Akria token as well.
And why did he invest?
So some people have been telling me about this new and interesting project that won a big award in Germany. It's called the German Innovation Award.
And this isn't the first that we've seen the German Innovation Award, because it's literally plastered all over Akria's site. They want you to know that they won this award. But what even is the German Innovation Award? I've never heard of it. Well, let me tell you, the story isn't done yet. This just gets insane. Looking at their site, they claim to award innovative products. Now, if we look at the winners tab, we can see this year's winners. And it seems pretty straightforward until you start to scroll and you see the sheer volume of winners. I counted, and there are 310 products that have won the German Innovation Award in 2021 alone, almost one every day. And then I found out that you can actually buy one of these awards and be a winner. So this is obviously for marketing purposes to make products look stronger, but they surely do some judging to ensure products are truly innovative, right? Well, I'll let you be the judge. Here are two of the winners this year. First, the Plank Pad, a wooden balance trainer, and this cat scratching post, the pinnacle of German engineering. Now, speaking of Lindsay Lohan and the Doge Millionaire, in my deep dive, I noticed something else. They both happened to tweet about the same NFT project called Blockships. I figured, what are the odds of that? So I did a little bit more digging. The project Blockships also happens to be, you guessed it, a German Innovation Award winner. I couldn't make this up if I tried. And then I looked up good old CEO Dominic's LinkedIn to see his background picture. Now, what's weird about Blockships? Well, first, they claim to be the first NFT to be stored directly on the blockchain, which is a little bit odd to say when you look at the fact that Ethereum did this in 2015. 6 years ago. Or when you remember that literally every single NFT built on Cardano is stored directly on the blockchain. Even I had an NFT stored directly on the blockchain before Blockships did, because I minted an NFT on Cardano for a video a few months ago, before Blockships was even a thing. But it doesn't stop there. Looking at an archived version of the Blockships website, they have some really strange promos. It looks like they used a Cameo type service where you pay celebrities to say stuff to have not only Steve Wozniak talk about the project, but also Ice Cube.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy Ice Cube. You ever heard of an NFT before? Yo, check this out. I'm a huge fan of Blockship NFTs.
Steve and Ice must have caught on to what we're doing, because this version of the site has been completely wiped clean. Now I know this has been quite the journey, so where does this leave us? Well, of course, we can't say with 100% certainty that either of these projects are scams, but we can say that they very often use misleading tactics to promote their projects and to try and gain credibility. And it seems there's at least some connection between a few large Shiba holders and this Akria network. However, we don't know how deep that connection is or if there's ties to lead developers at Shiba. And it's also important to note that promoting a crypto is not technically illegal. Now, there is some gray area here. On one hand, I don't blame anyone who takes a sponsorship. However, I believe it should be disclosed that they're being paid. The creator should take the time to be extremely careful about who they promote, because this stuff matters. And I personally think that any sponsorship should ultimately benefit the viewers, even if that simply means creating better videos with the additional funding for the channel. Now, I don't want any hate to go out to the Doge Millionaire, because I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and say that he wouldn't have done this promo if he did the same deep dive that I did. And on that note, if you'd like to support my content further and help me dig myself out of this $30,000 hole I put myself in, just make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you want to if you're ready to take this relationship to the next level, you can join my Patreon community that's linked in the description. There you'll find even more of my research and market insights, free coaching from top mentors, access to my portfolios, a private community, and a whole lot more. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.
Hey everyone, Lindsay Lohan here. I'm a huge fan of NFTs, and I just discovered Blockships. It's the first real NFT that saves all of its data onto the blockchain. So check it out today. I'm supporting it.